We all know that a fast is undertaken when we want to seek God, and usually for His blessing in a particular matter. We at Elam right now are fasting and praying as a means to prepare for our annual pastors and missionaries convocation. But one thing we know about God's economy is that He usually accomplishes more than one thing for His purposes when He is at work. I ran across a literal example of that recently on my computer. Now, I had told God that one of my goals this year is to see Him at work. I want to see Him more. I want to see Him at work, not just in the supernatural, but I want to see Him in the ordinary. I want to see Him as He speaks and as He works. Anyway, back to my literal example. My computer is like a lot of people's, and it has a screensaver that randomly changes. And one morning I turned it on to find a spectacular picture of trees found primarily in the Philippines called the rainbow eucalyptus. Now, eucalyptus doesn't grow around here, but we see it in many forms. For instance, the dried branches are used as air fresheners, and they use them in flower arrangements as well. The oils of the eucalyptus are used for cold and cough remedies and for asthma. It relieves dry skin and it eases pain. It's a very useful plant. So you may see its produce even if you never see the actual tree. Now, one of the oddities of eucalyptus is that it sheds its bark. Scientists say that the reason that the bark sheds off of the trees is to keep the tree healthy. That when the bark falls off, it takes with it the fungus and the disease that has collected on the outside, leaving a healthy plant on the inside. And this particular screensaver was a picture of a stand of what's called rainbow eucalyptus trees with most of the bark peeled off. And what I saw was a tree trunk with these spectacularly beautiful streaks of vivid neon colors. There were streaks of lime green, there was bright fiery orange, there was electric blue and bright red. Now, to me, that's a literal picture of God's creation, from God's creation, of this process that we undergo when we fast and pray. God calls us to fast and pray so that we might peel away all the outside with the accumulation of worldly influences. When we fast and pray, we shed our tendency to be self-sufficient maybe, and we shed the accumulation of filth from the world. And what's revealed is the bright, glowing spirit within us, a spirit that hears more clearly the voice of God and understands the voice of God more clearly, a spirit that discerns God's purposes. So yes, let's fast and pray so that we might see those who come to the convocation be refreshed and refilled with the Spirit. Let's fast and pray that all will remain safe throughout the convocation. And let's fast and pray that we might perhaps even see the beginning of that hobby revival that's been prophesied. Let's fast and pray and believe that God is also going to work in us and through us that we might become that light, that we might be that glowing neon example of Him.